Hello, everybody. It's 10:09 p.m. Central Time on the 29th of November, 2022. It's Tuesday here in the United States, already Wednesday internationally. Hope you're doing well. We are here to talk about a few earthquakes that have struck, and I also need to talk about the forecast, which expires pretty much tonight, going into tomorrow morning, of course. And, of course, several of the locations we were looking to be hit have not been hit. Now, before I get into that, I'd like to turn on the display capture and bring my Canadian viewers and North American viewers up to speed. Several people contacting me about this. I made posts on this over on my YouTube page. A 5.9 to 6.0 earthquake struck up here in Alberta, Canada. The largest ever from what I'm hearing. Now, they downgraded the earthquake from a 5.9 down to a 4.8. Okay? All right, okay, and I had that queued up. All right, well timed, right? Okay. They had it, again, guys, they downgraded it from 5.9 down to 4.9 or 4.8. But then this happened. A boatload of activity afterwards, which struck directly at the earthquake epicenter, where the previous 5.9, and we would call these all aftershocks, going from 4 all the way up to 5.3. So it's not like the first earthquake was some kind of foreshock. And if we go look this epicenter up, or any one of these earthquake epicenters up, which I already did and posted over on my community page and Twitter page, but I wouldn't ask you to go over to any of those. I will just show you live here and now. Let's go ahead and zoom in on the location. And here we are. Here's the earthquake epicenter. Here's where the 5.9 was originally reported, and all the aftershocks breaking out all the way down several miles, about 4 to 5 miles down to the south. And the most current earthquake coming in here. And what are these? Well, when you zoom in, you will see tanks, pumps, jacks, pipelines, and that's connecting between several different drill points. All of these drill points connected in a huge pumping operation going across Alberta from here up north. And we won't get into what's up north, but right down here, all of these squares in the ground, each one is a different drill point, or most of them are different drill points, and we have wastewater injection going on, fracking. They inject the wastewater down into the ground. It breaks apart the old oil wells and new drill points, releasing oil and gas from the shale. Anyway, we're here on the edge of the North American Craton, which you can see traced out in the mountains. It goes down across out of BC into Alberta, down into the northwest United States, down into Montana, even into Yellowstone and beyond. And I can turn on a graphic here. Hopefully you should be able to see this. I don't know if you will see it. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I've got to reshuffle some graphics here on screen. This is how it goes when you're live. There's the Craton graphic. That should help us there. So the Craton graphic shows it coming in from Canada. You see the edge of the Craton. It goes all the way up, the brown, rusty, brownish, orangish color, and it goes up to the northwest. Well, that's right where this swarm of earthquakes is, and that's where all those drill points are. And that goes down into the U.S., and it goes into Yellowstone, for instance. So we have to watch now in the United States, going down through the northwest, coming in on the edge of the North American Craton, for a 1 magnitude increase from where we are now. And currently we're at near 4.0 level, if not right at it, 3.5. That means we're getting ready to take a step up across the board, going down the edge of the Craton. But that's something separate. We can get into a separate forecast some other time because, well, the forecast for this week has completely flopped as far as I can tell. We still have a few hours to go, but hardly any of the locations we talked about for this past week hit at all. The only thing that was of significance to mention is this at Mauna Loa. Mauna Loa volcano in Hawaii has erupted, in case you haven't heard. First eruption in 40 years since 1984. And something pretty significant started to happen here at the volcano. Let me take you over to my community page and to a few channels, which I recommend you go subscribe to almost immediately. You guys probably would want to come over and check out Two Pineapples channel, as well as a few others like Shane's Getting Handy. And these are locals in Hawaii who are doing a service for everyone. Check out the fissures that formed on the side of the volcano. I'll put a link down below to this person's channel, these people's channels, and you can go check them out and subscribe. I would urge you to subscribe. I don't know them, but again, they're doing a great job showing this. So, side flank fissures opened on the north flank of Mauna Loa and are draining out a significant amount of lava, which looks like it's going to be going up to the north from where the break is taking place. We have a bunch of fissures, or at least 3 that have formed here. And fissures, by that I mean spatter cones and outbreaks that pile up on top of each other and next to each other and flow downhill. And this is on the side of the volcano, which, if we take a look from a side angle, you'll be able to see that we're, of course, down below the peak. There we go. All right. So we're down below the peak, and everything up above this outbreak point is draining out right now. That's a lot of mileage of magma in there, and it's coming out as lava flowing downhill. Now, once it gets down here, it has 2 ways to go. One is east, one is west. Or actually, the way we're looking is east and west. One is north by northwest, and the other is east. And it looks like it would most likely go this way, which would take us out in the middle of nowhere, where there's only just a few things that are stationed out here. A few observation stations. I don't know what this place is right here, actually. I have no clue what this is. It looks like there's antennas there. Or no, wait, helicopters. Look at that. Helicopters. Those almost look like, I don't know what kind of helicopters those are. That is very interesting. They're, okay. Let's just get a ground level view on that. Oh, they don't have one. Okay. Quarrying and other things going on nearby, but that could all get covered up if a big lava flow comes in right through there. Right now it's going down slope. We don't know how far, other than to see it on citizen reported channels like the ones I just showed you. Professionals are kind of, I don't know what's going on. I think it has to do with tourist season and a few other things, politics maybe, where they're not really showing the general public live views of the lava flow overnight and throughout the day like they did for us, for instance, over at the Canary Islands with La Palma. Okay, now let's get into it. What earthquake struck in the past few days, and what were we looking for to strike and hasn't hit yet? Well, we had warnings going down towards New Zealand for new near or above 6.0 level activity to strike at the Catcher's Mitt North Island, just north of the Bay of Plenty. And what happened? Well, mid-range 5s. Now, I don't know if we're going to consider that a hit, because I was looking for up to 6.5, maybe even larger, up to 6.9. So mid-range 5, I would call that a strike. We didn't get the expected magnitude, and technically, we're just a little bit north of where I issued the warning. So if I'm looking at the Catcher's Mitt position here and it doesn't strike there, and we also don't get the magnitude, strike. Okay. Down at Point Nemo, we saw a spread go down here. I didn't issue a forecast for this. This is expected activity. It's why we have the X's there. You can trace the undersea mount chain back to our other spread of earthquakes that I just told you I missed on. So if we take this all and add it together now, it equals the magnitude we were looking for, 6.5 to 6.9. It's a bunch of mid-range 5s plus 4s plus other 5s, and it adds up. And no, I'm sorry, it adds up to about a 6. So it would still be under. It's still a miss for me, but still that would add up to about a 6 striking across the region, spreading out from X to X. Over to the west, no large earthquake activity at all. We're looking at 7 days worth of quakes. Red is from 6 days ago. Get those out of there. A 5. Nothing. Strike 2. So I'm already out. By the time we get over here to our S-shape plate boundary, we're looking for something like an upper 7. A 5 hit. So I'm out of here. Peace out. I can't do that. But seriously, that's 3 strikes already out. So what's going on? We still have like 17 more locations that didn't get hit. This is the first time I've ever had to address anything like this. I've never had this many misses before. There's some times where we get a few, sometimes where we get a lot of misses, but I would consider this a complete something's wrong, maybe with my forecasting methodology, maybe with what's going on the planet, maybe something big is getting ready to happen that I haven't foreseen on the forecasting methodology. However, let's carry on to the misses still. So we're going up to the north, and right here on the coast of Japan, we were looking for the coast of Honshu at the coast of Fukushima to get hit, and it got hit. But I was looking for up to 6.5, and it's a 5. Again, miss. Well, now this time location was hit directly, spot on, right at the coast of Fukushima, but still, miss, okay? So strike 4, right? How many strikes can I get, right? I mean, well, I got 16 more to go, guys. So going across all the way over into Alaska, we were looking for 2 different things to happen in Alaska. Middle of Alaska to move, right here, new 6.5, and a big earthquake. The second big earthquake that I was issuing the forecast for the week for was right here, right at the bend of the plate. And what happened? Well, Pavlov volcano erupted right here in the middle. Doesn't normally show up on the list at all. And this happened just over to the east. But that's way less magnitude-wise. It's the biggest earthquake in Alberta in how long? Ever? Okay. In recorded history? Huh. Whatever. I don't know. Okay, that was a comment left to me by some different viewers. Comments left saying it was the largest. But they downgraded it, right? So it didn't happen, right, guys? Anyway, I warned right here at the bend of the plate and just interior to the bend of the plate. Still, not on a location, not on a magnitude. Miss. Even though it's the largest earthquake in Alberta ever, and it's right next to the bend in the plate that I was looking for, I don't consider that a hit. Now, you might be talking about Hawaii. Was Hawaii a hit? Yes, for the weeks before forecast, the 14-day forecast, almost down to the day 15 and a half, so 1 day beyond. This happened. We warned for a 6 and rare seismic activity, the biggest in years, and warned between Mauna Loa and Kilauea, and then right there at the northeast side, or just the north side of Mauna Loa, the new eruption happened. So I consider that earthquake forecast hit from the previous forecast was great. California, nothing hit. Nothing. Not even a 4. Or maybe there was a 4 at the start of the week. Let's go back and take a look. I'll get to why in a second, guys. I will get into why. We'll get into how I missed what happened. So, check it out. California, nothing. Both sides, direct hits. 4.9 up north, 4.2 down south, 4.9 down in Texas. And what's with all the 4.9s? 4.9, 4.9, 4.9? Spare me, man. Again, hey, if you're in the Twitch chat, we have an emoji dedicated to all the 4.9s in the world. Now, they're really not 4.9, guys. That's a 6. The 4.9, they downgraded a 6 down to a 4.9. The 4.9 over here, it was like a 5.3 or 5.4. They downgraded it to 4.9. You get the picture? Can't have too many 5s in a week. Otherwise, that'll upset some statistics and averages, and so we need to keep the numbers down. That's what's going on there. So anyway, no hits, though. Let's carry on with the no hits. Where else did we not get the earthquake forecast correct? Down here in South America, we were looking for 2 different things to happen. Looking for South Chile to move. Looking for up here north right at Ecuador. Ecuador going into Peru. And we were looking at the center point. 3 different points. And none. We were looking at South Sandwich Islands to move with a new 6 point something. At this point, I'm losing track of how many misses it is. But here we are. South Sandwich, a 4.9. Come on, guys. Say it with me. It'll make me feel a lot better if you all say it with me, okay, on the count of 3, right? Say it in your best Dutch sense voice. You know, lower your baritone, whatever you got to do. Instead of the anti-helium, you know? All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.9. All All right, another 4.9. Now, let's go out the other direction, across over up into Asia. So we missed in Indonesia right at the S-shaped bend. Warned them for a huge earthquake, and no huge earthquake hit at all. And then we warned over here, and no earthquake hit at all. The previous warnings hit down to the exact spot from the week before. All of them. This one, nothing. We'll get into why in a moment. 4.8 to 4.9. Struck out here up in North Afghanistan. This is all in the last day and a half, guys. Right on the plate boundary. Now, let me just recap. We could just stamp a big 4.9 over the whole frickin' planet. Now, really, I want to take you over and show you the USGS plate boundary map. I don't know how accurate it is, but USGS plate boundary map shows us spreading out across the Indo-Australian plate, all the way up into Afghanistan, all the way up past Japan, to Alaska, back over to the United States and Canada, so forth. All right. I just showed you 4.9 after 4.9 after 4.9 after 4.9, all the way over to Canada. And if you really want to talk about it, over to Central America and South America as well. So what's going on? We're looking at a spread going across the plate boundaries, all on a, I would say, it's got to be in the mid-range 5 to 6 level across the board. And that the whole planet moved on a 6.0 basis, and they changed everything to 4.9. That's what I think. I can't prove it, but I don't know. I just don't trust anybody anymore. I've been online too long. Let's just say that. So another 4.9 striking right over here in the middle. This is all today and the last day. Jumping over to Europe, let's go over and take a look. What's going on? Aegean Sea, another spot where we were looking. Actually, hold on. We had two spots we had warned. One was Greece. The other was Cyprus. Cyprus, no-show. Greece, 4.9. Which, another 5.0 has now struck, and they took the 4.9 down to a 4.8. But so another 4.9 in Greece, and then afterwards, a 5 at the same spot. Again, they're doing the downgrades, guys. So you got to understand that it originally was a larger quake, and these other 5s are aftershocks. So is it a hit? Nope. Total miss. Total miss. Just like all the others. Every location's a miss. Oh, I forgot about this one. We warned Afghanistan for 6.0 level activity. 4.9. Who else did we warn? Oh, Iran. We warned Iran. Let's go back and see what hit in Iran over the past few days. What's this? A 4.3? That's at the start of the week. That doesn't count. Let's see. How old is that? Let me see. Yeah, that's at the start of the week. Nothing. So either nothing hit at all, or at the spots where I issued warnings, we got this kind of shenanigans going on. And the spots where we didn't get any earthquakes hitting at all just so happened to be, well, never mind. Let's carry on. Let's go over out into the Mid-Atlantic Ridge and see what struck out here. Well, look at that. The only 6 of the week. Do you realize we haven't had any 6.0 earthquakes this week? You know why? They've all been taken down. A person in a cubicle is telling you that there are no 6s for a week. They're playing Obi-Wan Kenobi with you. They're waving their hand. They're saying this is not the earthquake you're looking for. They don't realize. They're not self-aware. 5.9 here at the letter X. So what's up with the letter X? The letter X is a termination point. The 5.9 that's there is really a 6, just like the others that I told you before were downgraded as well. And this is the final 6 here of the spread that went around the planet from 2 weeks ago. Let me take you back 2 weeks on my first forecast, based upon the deep 7s that happened here. After the deep 7s, everything we were looking for pretty much happened, going all the way out across the plates, including the 6.0 earthquake striking just south of the U.S. border, the biggest earthquake in Texas's last 100 years or so. Several hundred people killed and thousands injured in Indonesia, unfortunately, but fulfilling the forecast. Japan, the 6.0 earthquake hit. They brought it down to 5.9, made a big deal about it. Okay, that all spread out across the planet. Europe got hit We got our 5.9 down here in Greece. And I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding with all these 0.9 things, guys. You know why? 0.9 is way more sciencey, by the way. If something's just a 5.0, it just doesn't sound as sciencey as something 0.9. It's Commander Data style. Anyway, Italy got hit with a 5, or 4.7 to 4.9, and then now a 5.9. The cumulative total struck all the way out at the X. So it was 6s across the planet, guys. They downgraded each one to 4.9 and 5.9. It's crazy. So how did I miss? How would I know if I hit, I guess, is the question I should be asking at this point, and I'm not trying to give myself a fair pass. I think I'm being pretty hard on myself. I'm not done with the 4.9, and let's go over to here, where we warned Puerto Rico for a 5.5. What did I say, 5.5 or a 6? I said it would be the largest in a long time. And then I warned Venezuela. Well, a 4.9 hit in Venezuela. And 3 days ago, it's not on here anymore. Another 4.9 hit down below. Oh, no, it's there. They've downgraded it again to 4.6. Wow. How many 4.9s is too many 4.9s before somebody else wakes up? Let's go down and show you what else hit. Another 4.9 struck over, coming across the Mid-Atlantic Ridge along with a 5.6. Any others? One more 4.9 at the start of the week down here at the South Sandwich Islands. Do you believe? Oh, I forgot to mention the 4.9 up here on the coast of Vancouver Island. Oh, no, I did mention that. 4.9 and 4.9. Vancouver Island and Texas. Can we just add a giant derp behind all that? So did I miss or did I not miss? Well, no large earthquakes hit, right? Right? And people tell me, they got private seismographs all over the country, all over the world. They would report to us if a big earthquake hit. Oh, really? Why didn't they report to us when the Japan thing happened? Why do we have to wait and wait and wait for official confirmation from anybody, and nobody put out any news blurbs or anything when Japan megaquake happened? Why is it when every megaquake happens, we never see any private seismographs brought out to show us the awesome readings that they're getting on these big earthquakes all over the place? Now, I'm not saying they don't read them. I'm just saying that relying on private seismographs to get information that we should be getting from the public is just, I don't know. I don't trust anybody anymore for rightful reasons. Trust and science shouldn't be two words that are used together. You should just have to have it be or not be and present everything. There shouldn't be no trust involved, no belief involved in science. Anyway, not trying to get too lectury on you, but I totally struck out this week, and I'm trying to figure out why. So the way it goes with me missing things is if I miss whatever location, I don't do a new forecast until I figure out A, where the energy went, B, where I got it wrong, or C, what happened to the data, which happens too sometimes. But I'm not saying they could delete 7s across the planet unless they had full control of the whole electronic flow of information plus people's private seismographs somehow. And, I mean, while that is some sci-fi technical possibility, I think that maybe you could probably think of a way that people's seismographs could somehow be suppressed or something. I just don't think that that's possible. So I would think that they'd be able to pick up extremely large earthquakes. And anything under 5, or under 6 maybe might be, pushing it for people's private seismographs across the planet. So where are the quakes we're looking for? Technically, I still have a few more hours. I mean, tonight at midnight my time. It's now 10:33 p.m. Central Time. So what, hour and a half, 2 hours. The forecast expires. And, I always said it, if we get a big bunch of earthquakes tomorrow or something, that those will be the earthquakes that we're looking for. If a bunch of 7s hit tomorrow, upper 7s hit across the plates or something, then I'll come back and correct this correction. But right now, the way it stands is the forecast is canceled as of tonight at 11 or on midnight time. So 1 hour from now, 1.5 hours from now, the forecast expires, and I am not issuing a new one.